I found out my sister was getting married on a hot June afternoon, not from her, but while holding a paper plate of lukewarm macaroni salad. I was standing awkwardly between the lemonade table and a beer cooler at a family cookout. The kind where kids scream near bounce houses and someone's aunt insists on blasting country music like it's still 1997. That was when my cousin Jenny strolled over, hair tossed to one side, hot dog in hand, and casually asked, "So are you flying in or driving for Maddie's wedding?" I blinked. "What wedding?" Jenny laughed, assuming sarcasm. "You know. Maddie and that guy, James, right?" I nodded, faking recognition, and mumbled something about checking on the deviled eggs. What I really did was go sit in my car with the AC on blast, trying to steady the strange, quiet ache in my chest. Maddie was my baby sister. After our dad died, I was more than a sibling, I was a third parent. I'd been the one she called crying in college, the one who PayPal'd her rent, who mailed a weighted blanket when her anxiety spiraled, who stayed on the phone that awful night she was sure James was cheating. And now, she was marrying him, with flowers and music and cake, and somehow I wasn't invited. I sat there, unsure if I was heartbroken, furious, or just completely drained. Probably all three. From the car, I could see the celebration carrying on. My mom, composed as always in her pale blue dress, chatted with relatives like everything was exactly how it should be. I looked at the plate still in my hand, the macaroni glistening in the sun like it didn't know everything had just shifted. 2 days passed before I called my mom. Not because I needed time to cool down, I wasn't looking for an apology. I just needed someone to say it aloud, they had planned it all without me. She answered on the second ring, cheerful, like always. I asked her straight, "Is Maddie getting married?" A pause. Then, "Yes. Next month, actually. We didn't know if you'd be free." Free? I didn't even know it was happening. She chuckled. "Oh, Claire, don't be dramatic. That word again. She used it at Dad's funeral when I cried too loudly. When I called in tears after getting laid off. Dramatic. Overreacting. Too much. She wanted something small, my mom said. Just family. I am family. Yes, but you're always traveling, things get complicated. James's family had a lot of say. We had to keep it simple. It wasn't that they forgot me. It was that I was the easiest to leave out. When we hung up, I didn't scream or demand answers. I opened my calendar. The wedding weekend was wide open, no plans, no RSVP. So I made one. I booked a flight to Iceland. I didn't tell a soul. Not even Julia, my closest friend who once memorized my latte order and stood by me through heartbreak and layoffs. I just left. I packed light, left a sticky note on the fridge, gone. Don't wait up. The flight was quiet. I stared at the flight map instead of watching a movie. When I landed, it was early morning and everything was mist and moss and quiet. My rental cabin looked carved from the hillside itself. I loved it immediately. For the first 24 hours, I didn't touch my phone. On the second day, I sat by the lagoon on a half-buried bench, letting my hands go numb in the cold. I took a photo, not posed, not smiling. Just a figure in a coat under a blank sky. I posted it to my story. Within minutes, the viewers list lit up, Maddie. My mother. Cousin Jenny. No one said anything. And that was the point. They saw me. Not at the shower. Not at the brunch. Not in a lace dress clutching a bouquet. But here. Alone, among glacier and fog and silence. The wedding was that weekend. I knew from hints in family posts, champagne flutes, tagged hotels. I imagined it, soft lights, pastel flowers, laughter muffled behind doors. A seat somewhere left unclaimed. Maybe not empty, but I knew it should have been mine. That night, I posted another photo, my hand holding a ceramic mug against the pale lavender sky. No caption. just a chipped thumbnail and stillness. Again, they saw. They didn't reach out, but the quiet had changed. It wasn't absence anymore. It was withholding. I imagined them scrolling through their phones between dances, wondering what it meant. It meant I knew. It meant I remembered what it was to be part of something. And what it felt like to be removed. 3 days after the wedding, my phone buzzed to life. Dozens of calls. Messages. One from Julia, "You need to see this." It was a TikTok. I hesitated, then watched. Chaos. A bridesmaid, not crying, but screaming. A bouquet flying through the air. Someone yelling, glass breaking. Malene, red-faced, mascara running, crying out. A voice cut through, "You were my best friend, Maddie, and you were sleeping with him." It was Rachel, her maid of honor. The girl who helped plan the bachelorette trip. The one who'd apparently had a relationship with James the whole time. The wedding had imploded. The voicemails that followed didn't say what happened. They didn't need to. "We need you home. Maddie won't leave her room. Claire, please." My mother called too. In the same kitchen, with that same blue teacup, she said, "We don't know what to do without you." Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "We should have invited you." Just panic, masked as affection. Rachel texted me, too. "You probably would have stopped me." She was wrong. I wouldn't have. I would have let the truth land the same way it landed on me, without permission, but exactly when it needed to. More messages came. The tone softened. From demands to pleas. My mother cried in one. She called me strong. The one who held everyone together. I stepped outside into the Icelandic wind, letting the cold cut through my sleeves. I was no longer steel scaffolding. I was ice. Still. Immovable. That night, Malene texted. "I didn't think it would matter this much. I thought you didn't want to be part of things." That was the most honest thing she'd said to me in years. But it wasn't enough. Not after fading me from the frame, while still cashing in on my support. They didn't miss me. They missed what I did for them. Later, my mother called again. I answered, not to forgive, just to break the silence. "I wish you were here," she said. I replied, "Finally. For years. You just didn't see me." She was quiet for the first time in a long time. "I'm sorry," she said, but it came out like a question. I didn't answer. When she asked if I was coming home, I looked around the little cabin, at the wool blanket and the stillness. "No," I said gently. "I think I already am." The call faded. I sat in the quiet, not hurting anymore, not even comforted. Just true. The next morning, I wrote a letter. No drama, no accusation. Just, "I hope you find peace. I hope you tell the truth. I hope next time, the invitation comes before the apology." I signed it, dropped it in a red mailbox in town, then sat by the lagoon one last time. My phone remained in my pocket. When I got back to the cabin, I posted a final photo. A chair. Wooden. Empty. Framed by sky.